Good day, Derek, that EDU guy here. Thanks for joining me on this pro tip on rental property products and why we might choose them. So one thing that's going to be a time kill for anybody with a rental property is maintenance. So with a few design principles, we can eliminate a lot of that before it starts. So starting outside, if you've been watching my video series, you'll have already seen some of these pro tips, but concrete patio, because that's going to really reduce any annual maintenance that we would have with a deck. Next over here, I like to use a solid surface countertop. This is prefabricated granite. And today, it's not that much more expensive than a Formica, and it's gonna hold up a lot better. Next, we'll look at fixtures. So this is a standard off-the-shelf faucet, and I always use the same one. So not only do I have a backup or two in my shop, but if I have to drive across town to fix a leak, I already know what cartridge to get or what rebuild kit I would need, or I already have a faucet I could come swap out with. The same goes for the garbage disposal. Everybody gets a 3/4 horse Ace garbage disposal. Again, it's reducing any decision fatigue that I might have if I get a call for a repair. Light fixtures, again, they're so affordable that I like to buy them in bulk, and I always have a couple extra. So I know if I get a call, I already know what I'm gonna need. Next, we'll look at the floor here. So this is a 5-inch white oak nail down floor, 3/4 of an inch thick. And I just like to tell people that I ask them, how many houses have you been in that are 100 years old that still have a beautiful oak floor? And everybody says, oh, I can recall several. And then I ask, well, how many floors have we seen that are 100 years old that are laminate or LVP? I just don't think they're going to give the same life. So I go with something that I know works. If there's a big scratch or somebody drops an anvil on this floor, I can buff it out or sand it in, and it's not going to ruin the floor. Into the bathroom here, I like to use a tile, again, an artificial product or a vinyl. It's just once it gets cut, you have to tear up the whole floor. You've got to pull the toilet. I've had a lot better performance out of tile. It's not perfect. It can, if you drop something really heavy on it, it can crack. But again, I would be able to come in and just replace one of these 12 by 24 tiles. I wouldn't have to pull the toilet, pull the vinyl, sand it, glue it, and reapply a new one piece. So next we'll look at the shower. I've spent a lot of time going back and forth between a tiled shower surround and a prefabricated fiberglass surround. And this is just so much less maintenance. It's more affordable and it's less maintenance. There's not going to be any grout staining. There's not going to be any soap scum buildup on a more porous material. It's a lot easier to clean fiberglass than it is to clean tile when it's in a shower and there's lots of soap scum buildup. This is one of the secret weapons we need to remember is block our towel bars when we're framing. So behind this towel bar is 2x6 blocking nailed to the vertical studs, and you could actually do a pull-up on this. This is 1-inch pipe, and there's no way that somebody's pulling that off the wall. The same thing applies over here with the towel bar and then with the toilet paper holder. This is kind of a cool, trendy, kind of a utility look, but it's also super, super strong and bomb-proof, so no callbacks on that. Here's the granite in here. A few other affordability principles. I like to go with the one head. This is a 12,000 Daikin mini split head, and it's affordable and it's absolutely maintenance free. The reason that this is a maintenance free HVAC system is because it comes with a 15-year parts and labor warranty. So if there's ever any maintenance at all, it's a call to the local distributor to come out and fix it. And that's one thing that's important. I try to do most of the work myself when I build these accessory dwelling units, but there's a few things that we do want to defer to the professionals, well, at least in my experience. So I sub out plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. And that way, if we have any plumbing issues, it's a call to a plumber. I don't have to go fix it most of the time. If it's an electrical issue, we have a GFI that's tripping, or a ground fault interrupter in a bedroom that won't stay, that's a call to the professional, and then the HVAC. And what I'm really doing is just trying to defer any call back to somebody else. And you pay up front for that service, and you pay top dollar to get those warranties, but it really adds up when you don't want to be spending your time driving around managing repairs. So I hope that helped. A few ways to design your accessory dwelling unit for the end user so you don't have a ton of repairs and maintenance. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, but more than that, please take any of this info that you learned to take action and build an ADU. Reach out, comment, I'll help any way I can. Thanks.